Hello, it is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday crossword, which means we're going to be solving an early week themed, fairly approachable crossword. We'll see if that holds true. And this early week themed approachable edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Noah Bezanson, Henrik Koskinen, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster, the incorrigible Sheila Beeler, the indefinable Charlie Paget, and the indecipherable Ray Grant. Thank you so much to the six of them, benefactors, of course, of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. That means they support this channel, they keep it going day by day, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thanks to those six and to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon. It really does keep this channel alive. And if you'd like to keep this channel alive in that way, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve. You'll find the bonus videos there for patrons and for benefactors, like those I just mentioned, the official Let's Check the Crosses Daily Solve mug. Thank you so much to those folks and to everybody who supports the channel at any level on the Patreon campaign. And thanks as well if you subscribe on YouTube. That helps out also. And you can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a nice friendly chat community over there linked in the description field. And now let's get on to today's crossword, the Tuesday puzzle by Kathy Loudon, who's constructed a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, once again, by Joel Faliano. It's a Tuesday crossword, so it will have a theme. Let's find out what it is, and let's start solving. Alternatives to Ubers. Cabs, probably. Taxi cabs. Let's see if that works. With 28 down, emergency status. Code red, probably. Right. I was thinking red alert, but nope. Unknown writer for short. That's probably simply anonymous, attributed, something attributed to anonymous, but abbreviated anon. Wrong answer. Could be a buzz, maybe. Something buzzes, maybe on a game show to indicate that you got the question. You answered it incorrectly. 11 in avion. So this presumably, oh no, this is wrong. So avion with that accent mark there means we're going to give an answer in the French language because we have a French place name. And 11 in French is onze, O-N-Z-E. So that means my answer of buzz was incorrect. And actually, I should have thought about that because I didn't comment on the fact that it's in brackets, which means in this case, we're going to sort of write out a sound rather than a word that describes a sound, if that makes sense. So, well, we're going to write out a sort of onomatopoeia of the sound, I suppose. So bzzzt, the kind of representing the sound of the buzzer itself. So there we go. So that should be correct, I think, now. And an oracle is a prophet, maybe a seer, someone who foretells things. To give something to someone for safekeeping would be to entrust the thing to that person. And then a whole bunch at a family reunion, probably dozen or dozens of something. Dozens of, maybe. Let's see if that works. Office heads. Yes, office heads are bosses, straightforwardly. And if you're drunk as a skunk, you're, I don't know. Sitcom extraterrestrial, ALF, right? I don't even know if I've seen episodes of ALF, but I remember it existing vaguely. It stands for, I believe, alien life form, and I think he liked to eat cats. Game also called hoops is b-ball, basketball. There we go. And drunk as a blotto. That's a sort of old-timey bit of slang to represent extremely drunk. You're blotto. You're wasted. DMV document abbreviation would be a license, a driver's license. The DMV is the Department of Motor Vehicles in many U.S. states. And Virgo preceder, so this will be the zodiac. So presumably Leo comes before Virgo. That must be the case. And then Stan's partner in old comedy, Ollie. This is Stan Laurel and Ollie Hardy, Laurel and Hardy, the classic film comedy duo. Okay, whole bunch at a family reunion is dozens of cousins. Okay, so I think we might have a simple rhyming theme today. We put together phrases in which the two halves of the phrase rhyme with one another. Very good. Let's see if that holds true. Nashville or Atlanta, e.g. Are those TV shows? There's a Robert Altman film. There's a great Robert Altman film called Nashville, and I definitely have seen a TV show called Atlanta, there must also be a TV show called Nashville, because TV show would fit here. That's probably the case. I'll drink to that, you might say. Heir apparent would be the person who is in line to inherit something. Name shared by two of King Henry VIII's wives would be Anne. Anne of Cleves and Anne Boleyn. A job would be a task. And vena cava, bloodline to the heart. I've certainly seen that before, so there we go. Titular film character who lives in a swamp. Shrek must live in a swamp from the film Shrek. And organization that grades meat would be the USDA, I suppose, the United States Department of Agriculture. Yes, that's right, because you do see things like USDA prime meat. Okay, so that's right. A kerfuffle is a happening, an ado, maybe a commotion. And the parent company of Instagram, once called Facebook, is now called Meta. Uno or due would be numero in Italian, or numero for number in Italian, because we have the numbers themselves in Italian, so the answer will be as well. Okay, four's counterpart. So on a ship, for instance, you could have fore and aft to refer to, the front and the rear of the ship. And here's rear. Rear end in London's West End. I think it's just getting at arse. It's the British English equivalent, British English slang for your rear end, your behind. And all of this ends, I think, is just to be cute around the clue. So your rear end in London's West End doesn't need to be in London's West End. It could be anywhere else in London or anywhere else in the UK. Okay, large array for a desk. Something of drawers? Scores of drawers. There we go. That would be quite impressive if a desk managed to have scores of drawers, which would mean multiples of 20 of drawers. But there we go. It rhymes. Okay, if one took care of someone, one or something, I guess. Oh, no, it is something, or could be someone, I guess. You saw to them or saw to it. And author Horatio Alger was, not sure I can't remember if Horatio Alger was 19th or early 20th century, but he wrote kind of children's books with morals, essentially. Of course, in Spanish. Is it claro? For like clearly? Kind of salad with celery, apples, walnuts, and grapes. Oh, is it a Waldorf salad? I think it is. And I had some friends who had a band called Nutty Waldorf because they saw that label at a buffet restaurant once and just thought it was the funniest phrase, and Nutty Waldorf. Anyway. Of course, in Spanish. Yeah, okay. It probably is claro. Uno plus due. Oh, tres. So there we go. We've got, those were the exact numbers we had before, weren't they? Yes, uno or due. And then here we have uno plus due, tres. There we go. And then big group in a dog show. Oodles of poodles. Yes, there we go. Okay, good. So claro was correct. And then if you looked at someone rudely, maybe one way to do that would have been to have ogled them. And I think we haven't seen this. Oh no, we did. That was from earlier in the solve. Okay. Warm pink hue would be rose, maybe a rose pink. And to and fro means, here and there, hither and yon. The sun or the moon would be an example of an orb. And your very good pal, informally, could be your BFF, best friend forever. Word before cream or crystals. Ice cream or ice crystals. Yep, that works. Blank brain, source of our primal instincts, it said. You often hear people referring to our lizard brain in a sort of evolutionary sense. This very primordial part of our brain that governs certain instinctual emotions. Supply and demand subject would be economics, econ. Lead into soprano, you could have a mezzo soprano. So the lead in just means, as is often the case, a word or prefix that could precede the word in question. So you could, if that was your specific range, you could be a mezzo soprano. Okay, slipper-like shoes for short. Moccasins, those are slip-on shoes. Massive collection for an alchemist. Something about metals or gold or lead or ore, metal ore. I don't know. I can't think what this would be. To blacken something on the grid would be to char it. And word after going once, going twice, so an auctioneer might then yell, sold, to the highest bidder. To repeat something word for word would be to echo it. And ardent enthusiasm would be zeal. So oceans of... Oh, potions, right. Oceans of potions. There we go. That's the massive collection for an alchemist. And I think we've completed the theme at this point. We had 4, I believe. Let's finish the puzzle, though. Pit stop brand, so that could be a motor oil, maybe. So STP, maybe could be a pit stop at just on a highway or something. Something crushed during a gold rush. Oh, is this ore? I wanted to put ore in there before. That's funny. Let's see. To be behind. If you're behind in a race, maybe you're trailing the other competitors. Tube-shaped pasta. Penne is an example of a tube-shaped pasta. And a devotee is a fan. Broadway musical about the son of Charlemagne. Oh, I've never seen this. Is it Pippin? I know this is a sort of famous musical, but I've never seen any version of it. I guess I'm not extremely musical literate. Mattress specification fine or something? I don't know if that's right. Baltimore ball player, an Oriole, the Baltimore Orioles. I've heard of them. Oh, for a firm mattress. Yes, not fine, firm, of course. There we go. And if you're not tardy, you're prompt. You're on time. You've arrived just when you were meant to. Guacamole or hummus would be either one of those as an example of a dip. And of course, because these are separated by or, we're only referring to guacamole or hummus, only a single one of them. So when you see a clue like this, don't immediately think you should put an S on the end because there are 2 examples. 'Tis the season. There we go. Common saying around Christmas time. Performing group at a homecoming game. The pep squad or pep team or something like that. Misbehaving. If you're bad, I guess you're misbehaving. So pep, is it boys? It might be spam. Email. No. What is this? Pep, band? Is that something? I don't think I've ever heard of a pep band. But it makes sense. I mean, you hear of pep rallies and pep squad and things like that. So it makes sense that you could have a band in there. Okay. Customizable Nintendo avatar. A Mii, which is spelled similarly to and rhymes with the name of the video game console in which they debuted the Nintendo Wii. So there we go. And we have lather, rinse, and repeat. Often an instruction on a shampoo bottle. Diner add-ons could be side dishes, like at a diner, I don't know, maybe bacon or toast or something. You might ask for one at an annual review. You might ask for a pay raise. There we go. Suddenly started speaking. If you piped up, you suddenly started speaking. And Ireland to the Irish, it's ire. There we go. In the Irish language. Blank Emhoff, husband of Kamala Harris. Doug Emhoff is the husband of that presidential candidate. And for unto us a child is born. There's another sort of Yuletide phrase. Vowelless attention getter could be getting someone's attention by hissing to them. And then boring routines or ruts. You could be stuck in a boring routine, a rut. And then achievement for Elton John and John Legend in brief would be an EGOT, the winning of an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. And that's it. That was the Tuesday crossword. Nice, simple theme. They're just rhyming phrases. So very approachable. This would be a very approachable Tuesday puzzle in general, I think. Actually, I think people found yesterday to be particularly so for a Monday as well. So we're off to a gentle start this week, and the theme as well, fairly straightforward. But I think distinctive enough that you'd notice it. You wouldn't just solve it and not pay any attention to the fact that it's doing this, because these aren't ordinary phrases. You would have to sort of think about the fact that you're rhyming them. Anyway, we had dozens of cousins, scores of drawers, oodles of poodles, and oceans of potions, our 4 rhyming theme answers. And that was that. That's the Tuesday crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the midweek, mid-difficulty Wednesday puzzle when we might take a bit of a step up in terms of challenge. So let's find out. Join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.